The 4th of July. For most it means fireworks, laughter, and freedom. But buried beneath the parades and patriotic songs are stories that were never meant to be remembered. Stories drowned out by explosions in the sky. Stories where people celebrated and vanished. Because for some, July 4th isn't a day of freedom. It's the day the darkness came. These are 3 terrifying true stories. Each one happened on or around the 4th of July, and none of them end with fireworks. It was July 4th, 1983, when 20-year-old Lisa Donnelly vanished without a trace from Eagle Lake in Northern California. Lisa had joined her boyfriend and his family for what was supposed to be a peaceful holiday weekend. The campground was full of people, kids playing with sparklers, radios playing Springsteen, adults drinking by the fire. That evening, Lisa and her boyfriend had a small disagreement. Not a fight, just the kind of tension that lingers. Around 9:15 p.m., she told him she was going to walk down to the lake by herself for some air. She never came back. By 10 p.m., her boyfriend started asking around. No one had seen her. At first, people assumed she went for a longer walk or maybe sat somewhere along the shore to cool off. But by midnight, panic started to set in. Her sandals were found near the edge of the dock, placed neatly side by side. Her phone, which barely held a charge back then, was in the tent. The lake was calm. Too calm. Over the next 3 days, authorities launched a full-scale search. Helicopters scanned the area. Dogs were brought in. Divers searched beneath the docks and along the lake bed. Nothing. No signs of a struggle. No torn clothing. No screams had been heard. It was as if she'd been plucked off the planet in total silence. Then on day 6, a ranger hiking a lesser-known trail around the lake found something strange. A pile of clothes folded neatly on the ground. On top, Lisa's necklace, a gift from her boyfriend. Beside the pile was a single muddy footprint. Bare, human, leading away from the water and into the dense tree line. Just one. No matching print, no trail of steps. Just that footprint facing inward. There was no blood, no drag marks, no animal tracks. Just that footprint, as if someone, or something, had picked her up and walked straight into the woods. 3 years later to the day, July 4th, 1986, another young woman named Andrea Whitlock disappeared from the same lake. She was 22. She'd gone for a jog at sunset, telling her brother she'd be back before the fireworks started. She never made it back. The only thing found was a hair tie wrapped around a branch at shoulder height, deep in the woods behind the lake. DNA confirmed it was hers. Locals started whispering about something they called the Walker, a man, or maybe something less than human, who only appeared on holidays when the lake was busiest. A handful of campers even claimed to have seen a tall, pale figure pacing along the tree line barefoot late at night, just before the fireworks began. Lisa and Andrea were never found. Their names appear each year on missing persons tributes, but no one in the area camps near that dock anymore. The old-timers say the Walker doesn't take people at random. He waits for the ones who separate, the ones who step just a little too far away from the firelight. And when the sky erupts in celebration, that's when no one hears the screams. It was the 4th of July, 2008, in a quiet suburb outside Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Neighbors filled the street with folding chairs and coolers. Kids tossed smoke bombs across the pavement. Someone had brought in illegal fireworks, bigger, louder, and way too close to the houses. But no one cared. It was the 4th, and chaos was part of the fun. Around 10:15 p.m., the sky was lit up with bursts of red and white. The smell of sulfur and grilled meat hung in the air. Amid the flashes and booms, several residents reported hearing loud bangs, different from the fireworks, sharper. But no one investigated. In the noise and light, gunshots can go unnoticed. The next morning, a woman walking her dog noticed a black Honda Civic parked unusually far down the block. It hadn't moved since the night before, and the back of the car was cracked open slightly. What caught her attention wasn't the car, it was the smell. That thick, metallic, rotting scent that stops you in your tracks. She called the police. When they arrived and opened the trunk, they found the body of a man stuffed inside. His hands were tied, his mouth was taped. He had been shot twice in the chest, execution style. The victim was identified as 36-year-old Darren Michaels, a low-level member of a local gambling operation. His family had reported him missing 2 days earlier. He had no known enemies, no police record, and nothing in the car suggested a robbery. The unsettling part was the timing. According to the coroner's report, Darren had likely been killed between 10:05 and 10:20 p.m., the exact window when the fireworks were at their loudest. Surveillance footage showed nothing. Neighbors remembered nothing. Whoever dumped the car had driven into a neighborhood full of people and noise, murdered someone, and left without a single person noticing. Detectives theorized that Darren may have been lured to the location with the promise of a payoff or a meeting, then killed in a nearby garage or alley and placed in the trunk. But no blood trail was found, no prints, and no one was ever arrested. Every year, the neighbors still hold their 4th of July block party. But the space where the Civic was found is left empty. No lawn chairs, no cars, just an unspoken agreement to keep that spot quiet. And some say late at night, if the fireworks get loud enough, you can still hear a different kind of bang, one that doesn't light up the sky. The Carter family lived on the outskirts of Augusta, Georgia, in a big white farmhouse surrounded by fields and oak trees. Every year, they threw the biggest 4th of July party in the county. They were known for it. Local musicians played in their front yard. The grill smoked from noon until night. And when the sun went down, they launched homemade fireworks from a hill behind the house. In 1996, the turnout was bigger than ever. Over 100 guests. The music was loud, the kids were playing tag in the dark, and laughter filled the yard. Around 11:30 p.m., the Carter family's youngest daughter, 12-year-old Ellie, went inside. She said she was going to grab her radio to play her favorite song before the final round of fireworks. She never came back. At 11:43 p.m., flames erupted from the second floor of the house. Guests screamed and rushed toward the building as fire spread through the windows. Within minutes, the entire top floor was engulfed. Firefighters arrived and managed to contain it before it reached the lower level. When they found Ellie, she was lying at the top of the stairs. She wasn't burned, not crushed by debris. Her body showed no signs of physical trauma, but her face was frozen, eyes wide, mouth half open, as if she died mid-scream. But no sound had ever come. The official report was inconclusive. There were no signs of faulty wiring, no lightning, no fireworks inside the house, no accelerants. The fire had started in the middle of an upstairs hallway, away from appliances, electronics, or outlets. The Carters tried to rebuild, but 1 year later, on July 4th, 1997, the brand new structure caught fire again. Same time, same place, only this time, the house was empty. The family had moved to Florida. The power had been shut off. No one had been inside for weeks. But the fire still started, and it started in the same upstairs hallway. After that, the land was condemned. The remnants of the house were torn down. The field was left empty, overgrown with weeds and yellow grass. People in the area began reporting strange occurrences near the old Carter property every July 4th. A flickering light in the field, a soft, staticky melody, like a distant radio playing a song no one can quite name. And sometimes the voice of a little girl, humming. Some believe Ellie saw something that night, something that doesn't appear unless you're alone, unless the house is quiet and the world outside is distracted by celebration. No one has built on that land since, and every year around the same time, the temperature around that hill reportedly rises, as if something is waiting, watching, and remembering. Because some fires don't start by accident. Some fires are a warning, or a message, or something much worse. We light fireworks to remember freedom, to mark the birth of a nation. But not all explosions are a celebration. Not all lights in the sky are beautiful. And not everyone who vanishes on the 4th of July is found again. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who thinks the 4th is all about fun. Because some holidays hide horrors, and some stories are buried just beneath the sound of celebration. Happy Independence Day, if you're lucky enough to survive it.